All right, I just loaded in at 1440p on my RX 6800 XT, and we are starting out at ultra settings. Let's double check everything's good. So we got 1440p, and we are on the ultra settings. I do have future frame rendering on and VSync off. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, my CPU is an R9 5950X with 32 gigabytes of 3600 megahertz CL16 timing RAM. So this can be a very CPU-bound game in a lot of situations. So I'm interested in whether that's the case here at 1440p. At 4K, which I already did a video on, I mostly stayed GPU-bound. But you can see here that my GPU usage is actually not staying up at 100%. So even here at 1440p ultra settings, and even on an R9 5950X, it is looking like we might be at least a little bit CPU bound. Let's see what happens as we actually get into the map a little bit more. I will probably also test this out at 1080p, maybe even in this video, but again, as you hit lower resolutions and settings, the CPU bottleneck could become most of the issue. Part of that's these new 128 player maps, although honestly, Battlefield 5 wasn't incredibly easy on the CPU either. Although this game is certainly more demanding. I've seen comments on some of my other videos asking if I'll be testing out like lower end CPUs. I do have an i5 9600K, and actually AMD sent me a 5600X for review purposes. So I might test those out if I have time in the near future. Can I shoot through that window? Doesn't look like it. Oh no, I did get him. There we go. I don't know what I think about this game so far. Honestly, the bigger maps are, in my opinion, just mean it takes longer to get where I'm trying to go. And I've never been that into the vehicles. I prefer the infantry combat. So I'm not sure this really took a turn in the direction of my personal preferences. But hey, this is a graphics testing video. So I don't know. But you guys could give your thoughts in the comments on what you actually think about the game itself. Looks like we're well over 120, up into the 130s. Depends on exactly what's going on. Hey, there's an enemy. Hit him once. Got him. Is there an enemy? I know that guy had a buddy. The tank's gonna kill me. See, I need to figure out how to deal with all the vehicles in this game. Way too many of them. I'm getting shot in the back. There's that tank. All right, at deaths, I will switch graphics settings. So performance was great there at Ultra. We'll drop down to high. I'm curious how much we'll still just end up CPU bound here. I don't think anybody's gonna res me, so we'll just redeploy. Because we definitely saw at least some instances of being CPU bound. Let's jump into this area. There's an enemy. Got a hit marker, there's the assist. Still need to get the feeling down for the ballistics timing in this game. Also need to just aim at the head, you know. But I'm never sure in a new game if there's gonna be much bullet drop. Oof. That's no good. I don't feel like that was a very long test at high settings, but I think we will go ahead and drop down to medium, because I've been noticing that high and medium have been yielding pretty similar, sorry, high and ultra were giving pretty similar results on all my other testing. Medium tended to see a larger jump, although keep an eye on the GPU utilization when we're looking out for CPU bottlenecks. Now, some people are like, why would you look at the GPU to see if your CPU bottlenecked? Well, if you can't get full usage out of your GPU, you're probably limited by the CPU. And even though my CPU is only reporting like 20 to 25% usage, That's because the game is probably not programmed to use as many cores as the 5950X has. Remember, this has 16 cores and 32 threads. So I don't feel like my frame rate's actually that much better. I think I'm pretty much just CPU bound. I think the maximum frame rates are higher, but like most of the time, we're fairly limited anyway by that CPU. Did I not get that guy? Really? All right, let's go ahead and drop down to low. Is anybody gonna res me? Ah, whatever, we'll just redeploy.
We control most sectors on the battlefield.
Can I not redeploy here? Deploy. I think it thought I was clicking on my teammate when I was trying to just click on the objective or whatever it is. The control point. Well, low settings, well, we're in a building, so maybe that's not fair yet. Let's get outside and compare. Man, I really feel like the frame rates aren't that much better because, I mean, just look, the GPU is not being able to be fully utilized when you look at that usage percentage. Because we are so CPU bound. Got a hit. Got a kill. Got sniped. Yeah, so it's really just looking like we're fairly CPU bound, which is probably going to be the case, especially if I drop it down to 1080p, but let's do it anyway. So we are going to go down to 1080p. And I guess we're on 1080p low settings. Let's pop back up to ultra settings. And if we keep an eye on that GPU usage, it is looking like we are CPU bottlenecked. I see you sniping in the trees there, man. Feel like that should have hit. Got him.
One of our objectives is no longer secure.
I feel like some of these should have been headshots, but they're not. Oh well. Got some kills anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and drop down to 1080p high.
I do not want help. No assistance required.
No assistance required, guys. Let's redeploy. Looks like I can't get back to that area, so let's hop in over here. Right. You guys see any enemies? Truck, I can't do much about that. There's an enemy. I missed that? Oh, is he already dead? Yeah, I think this is just gonna be a long story of we are CPU bottlenecked. So, R950, 950X, you know, has its limits in this game. The good news is we can pretty much stay over 120 FPS for the most part. The bad news is you would hope that a $700 CPU could do a little better than that, but you know what? It is what it is. See, the lead time on this is hard to figure out. Ah, well. Somebody died over here. Hit him. And I'm dead. Alright, let's go ahead and drop down to low settings. Right, 1080p low. This is gonna be the best we can do.
U.S. troops assaulting one of our objectives. Objective lost. We'll need to recapture it.
It's looking like going down to low. We're maybe doing a bit better, but we are still
U.S. forces have captured an objective.
pretty limited.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Ah! Run away, guys. Run away. Hey, we're getting like 175 right now, and we're just staring at nothing. That's good, I guess. I want to get some snipes here. There we go.
Beginning siege on Echo 2.
Alright, might as well end the video. Hope this was useful info. Looks like we're, for the most part, just CPU bottlenecked. I might test out some other CPUs soon, and I also have a RX 6600 that I'd like to test out. Have an excellent